Hey everybody, welcome to our quick episode of how to make some sweet potato fries.
Yes, yummy, love them.
They're so easy to make.
I know they are, and healthy.
And you've already cut some up.
I did, I already cut them up.
So, sweet potatoes are good though.
They are.
You got a whole one too.
I have a whole one here. I mean, I just
But you can
sometimes
see how
cut them in.
you really cut those up thin.
You like them thin,
Yeah,
or you like them
I like them just like that. That's perfect.
I do too.
You can do wedges, but they're going to take longer to cook.
Cubes.
So what I think I'm going to have you do is just kind of shake the water off and get them in that other bowl. And just do about half of them for us.
All right.
We're just going to do about half of them right now. And there's a couple secrets to making sweet potato fries. All right, so
yes, there is.
What we're going to do, you can see where the water has a little starch coming out of them.
I do see that.
Sweet potato fries don't have near the starch that other potatoes have.
Like your white potatoes, your baked
right,
potatoes.
and you know how potatoes always get crispy?
Yes.
Well, that's partly because of the starch. So what we want to do is we want to take these sweet potato fries and just add some cornstarch to them.
Wow. Now, this is something you do a lot, Mark, with onions to make onion rings, especially gluten-free.
Another one of those little secrets that most people don't know about. And so I'm just going to get some of this cornstarch just kind of all wrapped around in there. How's that look? Pretty good? I think we're in pretty good shape there, huh?
It looks like it's time to eat shortly.
All right, let me spray this pan off too real quick here.
Okay.
And boom, just like that, you've got your sweet potato fries.
Nice.
But the starch will actually really give it an amazing crispness. And it's okay if it's thick like this too, because you'll see when it comes out.
Now, are you going to put any kind of seasoning on here, Mark, or to leave it just like this?
Let's make another one.
All right.
Oh yeah, good idea, good idea. Duh. Of course, you can use anything.
You can.
If you can get your containers open.
Okay. That would help, right?
So.
A little salt. Okay.
And this one, I'm just gonna do salt and pepper. How's that sound?
That sounds good.
And you can use
pepper.
anything you want. I like pepper too. I don't do much on the black pepper, but once in a while.
Don't you like to take the peppercorns and grind them down? Is that your favorite when it comes to peppers?
Yeah, of course, yeah. Actually, I like the white pepper too.
Do you?
Yeah. White pepper, red pepper, those are my favorites. Okay.
There's one in there, dig him out. It's like a fish.
Don't miss it. Little goldfish in there, huh? Okay, so we're gonna put some more of this in here. And then why don't you open up this one?
Ooh.
It's a surprise. I'm not sure what it says on the back, but you might want to take a look.
Caribbean or Caribbean jerk?
Jerk rub, yeah.
Jerk rub.
And
Wow,
throw
that
some
smells good,
Throw some
Mark.
of that in there. Just blast it with this. Of course, the Caribbean jerk rub is going to have some
Nutmeg?
nutmeg in it. It's going to have some heat to it as well.
Oh yeah.
It really does. Crank it. Give me a double load of that. Just really load that baby up. Okay. Now this one actually has some parchment paper on that. Did you do that?
I did.
Oh, you're
so
pulling
I don't have oil.
She's pulling a little education trick on me. Yeah, I know what you're doing.
I love
Like,
this kind of stuff.
Mark, stay away from the oil. But of course, you want to have the least amount of oil possible. In society, we're just getting bombarded by oil. It's just ridiculous.
Okay. And then I'm going to put these into. Mark, how long are we going to cook this and about what temperature?
Well, Normally, I like to get a little hotter, like about 375. Traditionally, 350 is your thing, but if you do oil boiling in oil, 350 is the standard.
Okay.
But in the oven, 375 is going to crank it. But you are going to want to spin this a couple times, and I think probably about
like
40.
Rotate them.
I'm thinking 40, 45 minutes because these sweet potatoes are hard.
Okay.
If you're using regular potatoes, it'll only take about 20, 25 minutes, but with these,
also, you have to understand that ovens vary depending on altitude and gas, electric. Sometimes I've cranked my ovens up to like 450 because I want that real crispiness on the outside of my potato.
Mark, how long do you cook these? Till they're done. Right?
That works every time.
Usually that's the way we do it in the kitchen. So cook it till it's done.
And we'll be back in just a short once they're done to show you how they turn out. You ready to try those sweet potato fries?
I am.
Let's do it.
Think they're ready?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. Let's
hot. Now, if I'm not mistaken,
right, go ahead, I'll set that right there.
The one without the parchment paper was just salt and pepper.
Right.
And the one with parchment had the Jamaican jerk on it.
Little hot, but my fingers are so
numb to heat?
Yeah, they've always been that way after years in the kitchen. How do you like the look on that with the
I like it.
With the
cornstarch?
Cornstarch. It just gives it a little uniqueness.
It doesn't taste gritty, but it's
crispiness.
Real crisp.
Yeah, it just does something very unique with it. And just like that.
Oh my.
Because people have a lot of problems cooking sweet potatoes, and for some reason the starch just kind of helps it out a little bit.
There is absolutely no oil, no fat. Sweet potato done right. Sweet potato done right.
And now a lot of people will actually dip this
in ketchup?
No, in
mustard?
Keep going.
Relish?
No, corn
gravy?
Syrup, maple syrup.
Really?
Yes, the popular thing to do with these is have maple syrup for the dipping. That's the South tradition, I guess. Is you'll see it everywhere with maple syrup.
Melody's tradition is to eat them.
Mine's with ketchup.
Just eat.
They are so good.
They really are, Mark.
We could have this for dinner, not even just a side dish.
All right, you're serving, my serving?
Yeah.
All right, let's go. Hey,
Thank you all.
We're going to go eat our dinner.
Yes, thank you all for tuning in. We'll see you next time in the kitchen.
Bye.
Hi, Mark Anthony here with another episode of The Whole Message, where we teach you how to cook healthier in the kitchen. The easy way. And if anybody knows the way I cook, sometimes I don't even use recipes. I'm just throwing stuff together, and I love to teach people that particular way of cooking, because when you learn how to cook without recipes, in no time at all, you'll be able to do amazing things. And of course, there are a few things you want recipes for when it comes to breads and particulars, but then there's a lot of other things you don't even need a recipe. You just got to get in there and go for it. So we've got some great cooking segments for you today. Of course, I'm still working on my jeans. Hopefully in a few weeks, I'm going to be able to fit into these size 36-inch pants that have been sitting in my closet for 30 years. I've had these brand new jeans for 30 years. I have not been able to fit into them. And I'm just a few weeks away, so I'm getting pretty excited about that. But let's get in the kitchen, and we'll come back later on in the program and give you some real depth of knowledge information that you need to know. So enjoy this. All right, hey, Mark and Melody back in the kitchen again to teach you some intelligent ways to eat healthier in the kitchen.
We need to bring our bedrolls in here.
Almost. Sometimes we're here day and night.
We are, and we love it. We love it, don't we?
Yeah, absolutely.
What's on the menu today, Mark?
Just
It looks a little cheesy here.
Simple grilled cheeses.
Simple grilled cheeses.
Yeah, I just wanted to do some basics. Of course, you're going to take it to the extreme.
I don't do basic.
With some creativity. And,
yes.
But I like to show the basics too, because a lot of people, they
Yeah.
just don't even know the basics. They don't know how to do one little thing in the kitchen.
I know. I have friends like that, and I mean, even whenever I do recipes, they will, if it's 1 tablespoon, they will just get that last little bit of grain of salt or something out of there, make sure it's exactly right. And I'm like, just put it in
And
there.
they have a fear.
They
have a
fear.
fear of being in the kitchen.
Yeah.
So if we can show you the easy side to do things that are really so easy to do, and then we'll show you the little challenging things, and eventually everything is easy in the kitchen, isn't it?
Oh, it is. It is.
Yeah.
So sometimes you just have to love it.
Are we cranking this on?
I have
you got
got
some
it
heat
on.
on already?
I've got some heat on already, and I'll tell you, I have it for a reason. Because we're doing, what are we doing, Mark?
Is that really on?
That is really on.
Wow.
You didn't think it was on?
No, it just doesn't even feel.
I know.
Oh, that's a salad master pan.
That's a salad master
Yeah, you don't
pan.
have to run it at that hot temperature if you don't want to.
No,
So,
no, you
okay.
don't. And I have it on for a reason. I'm trying a couple different things today, so that's why I have it on. But what are you doing? What are you making?
Well, all I'm doing, I've got the simple part. I'm actually going to make a Ghetto grilled cheese.
A ghetto?
Ghetto, G-E-T-T-O, Ghetto grilled cheese.
Ghetto.
I know, you don't need to send us any emails on it. This is just what we called it growing up, and I know hundreds of other
and what
people.
was the reason for it ghetto? Because you had the simple things?
That's the way I lived. We
way you
lived
okay.
in a poor neighborhood, and you know, sometimes we didn't even have gas on our stoves because we couldn't pay the bill. So
Really?
But I'm going to put some toast in the toaster here and get that going.
Okay.
And show you how to make that.
Okay, now you know what I'm making.
And grilled cheese to the extreme.
I'm making a gourmet grilled cheese.
Nice.
Now we got a couple different breads here. I think I might use this ciabatta right there. Yeah, and I kind of cut the top of it
So
because
you can still toast it.
yeah, I want to toast it. Now I'm trying something here a little different. I want to try one without any butter at all, any kind of margarine, any kind of oil. I want this to be the healthiest I can get it. This is something called Earth Balance, which is a plant-based margarine. So I am just going to put a little bit on there, just a tiny, tiny bit.
Yeah, for comparison.
Hear it.
Starting to sizzle. We need to get some cheese on those then.
We are.
Yeah, now we're actually using Daiya cheese. That's D-A-I-Y-A. Of course, we don't work for the company, but we like to show you those good products out there. And Daiya, just think of dairy, D-A, dairy. That's how it's pronounced, Daiya cheese. And they've got a whole bunch. This is a new one, this melting provolone. So we wanted to try that one. But I've used these for years. Have you too?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, they're just great.
What is this, Mark?
That's pesto.
That's pesto. We made that.
Avocado pesto.
Avocado pesto.
If you haven't seen the program for avocado pesto, Melody came up with a home run on that one. So make sure you check out that avocado pesto.
I have done this before. I did it whenever we had a football game at home. And so the family wanted to do sandwiches, and I thought, I'm going to do the ultimate grilled cheese. And so I've got a little bit of what they call their, which one is that? Provolone?
That's the provolone.
This one is the pepper jack, and this is their cheddar. Okay? Now I've got it warmed up over here, starting to warm. Oh, my tomato.
What are you doing for the other cheese there in the other one?
I'm going to do the same thing, but what I'm trying to do here, Mark, is, okay, I should have done that the other way. I'm doing it, backwards. That's okay. That's okay. Now this one, I'm just trying to get a little bit of brownness on it. Yeah, it's going to.
Well,
it's going to take a little bit.
It's going to feel brown, but it's even though it's not, because you don't have the. I'm going to
butter.
Just for a few more minutes.
I don't have the fat.
Right.
Which the avocado is a fat, but it's an essential fat. We've talked about this before.
Yeah. But see, a lot of people, they eat with their eyes, and their brain is psychologically saying grilled cheese has to look this particular way. And it really doesn't, because the way you're doing it, it's going to look different, but it's still going to taste great.
Oh,
so.
I've done this so many times, and people are like, I can't believe that tastes awesome. I'm like, you can't believe it?
All right, here's my grilled cheese. Look at this. This is toast.
Okay.
Just plain and simple toast. And all I'm going to do here is take some cheese, and you can take any kind of cheese you want. We'll take some this, and in fact, I'll even try the provolone here. I haven't tried that before.
Let's kick it up. Let's kick our ghetto grilled cheese up a notch, okay?
And so we're just going to put this like this, That goes on there, and then we're going to put this in the microwave for about 20 seconds, and then we'll pull it right back out. Okay, so that is 30 seconds in the microwave, and look at this.
Oh my goodness!
It has just got melting cheese everywhere.
Amazing.
Yeah, and
now you didn't
knife over there.
And you didn't batter. You didn't put any butter.
Right.
There's no butter on it, so you just toasted your bread.
Exactly, and you've got a melted grilled cheese sandwich. That is
even the kids could do this so quick.
Exactly, and my mom and dad were both working, and we'd be at home, and we just had to have something to eat, and our friend said, hey, just make those ghetto grilled cheeses, and so we do. And it doesn't have the fat on it. So there you go. I got my grilled cheese. How about you?
I'm getting mine.
How's yours? Oh, look at those.
Aren't they beautiful, Mark?
Those look fabulous.
Hand me a plate over here, but I'm going to put this out. I want you to cut this for me. Cut it diagonally. I think it looks so pretty when we do.
Okay.
All right. Now, this one, I put a little bit of the Earth Balance on there, which adds fat, probably about 120 calories, and would you say 5 hours in the gym?
Yeah.
Sure, it's going to have a great taste to it. This one, this is a ciabatta bread. This one here is a good whole grain organic whole wheat. You could use whatever, oh my, look at that. Whatever kind of bread is suitable for you. You could be celiac, so you can use gluten-free as well. And this I did absolutely nothing, but we have a great stainless steel, a good core in our pan here, you know, a thick core. And so we're able to cook on a low temperature without even putting any margarine on it, so you could do it that way. Maybe some of you don't have a microwave. I don't use a microwave that much. I do it heating water or something like that.
Hardly ever.
I don't. But this is beautiful. I mean, isn't this gorgeous? Look at the tomato. To me, that's kind of an ultimate in a grilled cheese. And every time I serve this to people, they just go crazy.
Yeah, and you can actually put the vegetables inside of it
Sure
too,
you can. Oh, sure you can.
So make it look pretty, however you
Make
want
it
to
look
do it.
pretty.
You know, a lot of times we're not doing the gourmet look to make it look all fancy. You know, we want to get you healthy first. And we want you to eat whole foods, natural foods. We know a lot about the gourmet end too, and so you see that quite often from us. But we want to teach you the basics and the intelligent side of eating healthy.
And how do we eat, Mark? We eat with our
eyes.
We eat with our eyes.
Yeah, nose is very important.
And so if it looks bad, and if it smells bad, especially the look, you know, food should not be anemic.
Yeah.
There's color, brilliant, vibrant colors in our fruits and vegetables, and I love to include them.
Amazing. Isn't this amazing?
You're going to have to try that when you're going to bite into it.
I will do that.
I want him to try
Even though this has the butter on it.
That's okay. It's not real butter. It's. What do you think of that?
Oh, yeah.
That's the ultimate gourmet grilled cheese.
With the avocado.
Yes, with avocado pesto.
But I still think we could have done that without the butter and saved ourselves 5 miles at the health club.
That's what we have right there.
And it still has fantastic flavor. So, yeah.
Isn't that wonderful?
Easy as that.
I like doing it this way because I give you the choices. And just like Mark, he's here testing it. And Mark's got a great palate. Very sensitive, and he's great with his flavor. So if you say so, then it's a winner, right? It's a winner.
As long as I'm listening to you, then I can say so. So, yeah. Amen. But that's what we're here for. So, Mark and Melody in the kitchen, teaching you how to eat. I got to have another bite. Teaching you how to eat fabulous in the kitchen. We'll see you next time.
Be healthy.
We've got a pretty interesting topic for you today, one that I know a lot about, and that is alcohol and alcoholism and over drinking, binge drinking, whatever kind little word you can put on it. It's still drinking. And I just wanted to share with you this particular page right here. This is on CBS News, and I'll blow this up for you here. 30% of Americans abuse alcohol, study says. 30%. So that's some pretty big numbers, 30%. And I think if you look at some other studies, you're going to find out that 5 or 10% or 2% of the population is alcoholics. But then again, what do you look at? Oh, I only get drunk once a week, or I only get drunk once a month, or there's so many different excuses. I could come up with hundreds of different excuses. I needed to relax. I needed to go to sleep. The list goes on and on. But what I want to share with you here is some Center for Disease Control facts. Let me share this with you because this really puts some things in perspective for you. And just to let you know, I was a big drinker. I would sometimes drink a fifth every day. Used to own a casino. So, I mean, let me tell you, I know what it's like to be an alcoholic and drink more than you could probably ever imagine. When you get free alcohol in pretty much any casino you want in town, you know, it can be a major problem. But God helped me overcome that, and He can help you overcome the same problem. Or maybe you've got somebody, one of your loved ones or friends or neighbors or coworkers, you know, just because you're not an alcoholic does not mean you're affected by alcoholism in another way. So, but this is right here, the Center for Disease Control. I like going to the CDC here, and they've got some really interesting information. And let me tell you, it is a major, major health problem, costing billions of dollars a year. Right now, it's an industry, $250 billion industry here in America. So that's a massive industry. What is a drink here? 12 ounces of beer is considered one drink, 8 ounces of malt liquor, 5 ounces of wine, or 1.5 ounces of your 80 proof whiskey, liquor, that type of thing, rum or vodka, that's your drink. Now, here's their technical definitions of what excessive drinking is. Excessive drinking is binge drinking. The most common form of drinking is defined as consuming 4 or more drinks in a single occasion for women, 5 or more drinks in a single occasion for men. So if you have more than 5 drinks as a guy in one day, that's considered binge drinking. And I don't know where they come up with this word, but 5 drinks, that's just warming up the pot for me. I mean, I can go 25 drinks, you know, so, but still, 5 drinks can be a major problem. You know, I don't want to make a light case of this, but binge drinking, I would think, would be a lot more than 5 drinks because, you know, especially for a big guy like me. Heavy drinking, here's the interesting part. Heavy drinking is defined as consuming 8 or more drinks per week for women, 15 or more per drinks for men. So that's what heavy drinking is. And, okay, well, 15 drinks, that'd be 5 a day for 3 days. So I'm a heavy drinker and a binge drinker. That's what I would be. What is moderate drinking? You know, here's another moderate drinking. You know, if you're younger than 21, they call it moderate drinking. You know, it's just some interesting things here. Short-term health risks. Now, there are short-term health risks, long-term health risks, short-term injuries, motor vehicle crashes, falls, drownings and burns, violence, homicide, suicide, assaults, alcohol poisoning, short-term health risk, risky sexual behaviors, which can really cause pregnancies, STDs, HIV, things like that, miscarriages and stillbirths among women, long-term health risks, here we go, high blood pressure, heart disease, stroke, liver disease, digestive problems, cancer, long-term health risks, cancers of the breast, mouth, throat, esophagus, liver, colon, learning and memory problems, learning and memory problems. So if you didn't hear it the first time, I'll say it a third time. Learning and memory problems. Oh, I get it. Okay. Yeah, I know. You got to think fast when I'm around, don't you? Including dementia, poor school performance, medical health problems, social problems, including families being torn up, and unemployment and alcoholics dependencies. So there's a lot of things going on there, you know. And, you know, drinking is a major problem out there. And I'm just hoping that hopefully, you know, the things I'm saying would help somebody out there, because I know how rough it is. I know how it is waking up every morning with the porcelain and having to spend 40 minutes in the walk-in freezer in order to shock myself enough to get to work and that type of thing. I've done my rounds of alcohol. So here are some alcohol facts I want to share with you, because this is really upside down. The website is the National Institute on Alcohol Abuse and Alcoholism. National Institute on Alcohol Abuse and Alcoholism. All right, and I want to share this with you, okay? Alcohol in the United States. Prevalence of drinking. There's a lot of numbers here. 86% of the people ages 18 or older report that they drank alcohol some point in their lifetime. 70% within the last year. 56% within the last month. Binge drinking, heavy drinking, 24% over the last month are binge drinkers or heavy drinkers. So I can see where that first thing from CBS really shows us how 30% of Americans abuse alcohol, because it's when you look at all these statistical facts here. Alcohol use disorders, that's AUDs, alcohol use disorders. 16.6 million adults over 18. Youth, almost 700,000. Adolescents, and I mean the list goes on and on. Alcohol-related deaths. Nearly 88,000 people die every year from alcohol-related deaths. 88,000 people. And, that's a major, major problem. I would think comparing the two when it comes to gun laws or alcohol, I think alcohol is doing far more damage than a lot of the things that people are going after. And it's like society just ignores the alcohol situation. Let's go after this, let's go after this, let's go after this, but let's leave alcohol alone. And so it kind of seems like it's a little, upside down with the things they're looking at. Economic burden, here we go. In 2006, alcohol misuse problems cost the United States $223 billion. That's not the cost of the alcohol, that's the misuse problems that alcohol occurs. Global burdens here. There's just so many things. Family consequences. More than 10% of the U.S. children live with a parent with alcohol problems, according to the 2012 studies. So, you're getting a pretty good chunk of kids that are being affected by alcohol abuse problems at home. Underage drinking. Alcohol, according to the 2013 national survey, 35% of 15-year-olds reported that they had at least one drink in their lives. About 8.7 million people ages 12 to 20 reported drinking alcohol in the past month. 23% males, 22.5% females. So let me tell you, these kids under 20 are doing a lot of drinking. And same thing with the binge drinking, same thing with the heavy drinking. Consequences, fatalities and car crashes. Alcohol of college students, up to 59%. Full-time students drank alcohol in the past month, compared with 50% of other people of the same age. So the colleges is even a higher percentage of the people that don't go to college. So that's pretty interesting as well. And the same thing with binge drinking and heavy drinking. Consequences. Researchers estimate that each year 1,800 college students between the ages of 18 and 24 die from alcohol-related unintentional injuries, including motor vehicle crashes. 1,825 students dying from alcohol. I don't think you're going to get even close to that, dying from gun shots. 1,800 college students died. Now, if 1,800 college students were dying from guns being shot, I would really put a big flag on guns. And I'm not saying that guns are good or bad. I'm not talking about that discussion right now. I'm talking about the fact that if there was 1,825 college students dying from guns every single year, oh, there'd be a massive uproar. But there is not a massive uproar about 1,825 college students dying from alcohol-related injuries and death. Now, what kind of upside-down world are we living in? 1,800 college kids die, and we ignore it. And that's the point I'm trying to make. And that's why I'm kind of comparing them to guns, because, you know, maybe there's something else I can compare it to if it'd be more politically correct for you. But this is what I'm talking about. People are ignoring this. They're ignoring it, ignoring it, ignoring it. And it is a major problem. You know, and you know, the list goes on and on. Alcohols and pregnancies. You know what a major problem that alcohol does to pregnancies and you know, alcohol in the human body. Now is when we can talk about more of the health situations. And the alcohol in 2013, of the 71,000 total liver disease deaths among individuals ages 12 years and older, 46% involved alcohol. And so, you know, cirrhosis of the liver, and the list goes on and on. 48% were alcohol related. You know, so you can tell everything from all these diseases I was talking about. Now here's the really crazy part. Okay, check this out. You got to see this. Health benefits of moderate alcohol consumption. Health benefits of alcohol consumption coming from the National Institute on Alcohol Abuse and Alcoholism. What an absolute hypocrite of a thing for the National Institute on Alcohol Abuse and Alcoholism to put a thing out here with health benefits of moderate alcohol consumption. And I could go through every one of these and show you how I could discredit each one of them. You know, and I'm putting this out there because I have a passion, and you can tell I have a passion about this because I lived through alcoholism, you know, and God brought me through the other side. But these people are saying, well, it's okay to drink, even though that's a gateway to drinking more. You know, and in every one of these situations that they're saying moderate consumption of alcohol, up to 1 drink per day for women and 2 drinks per day for men is perfectly okay. And it's not. It is not perfectly okay. Because I know that 1 drink turns into 2, and 2 turns into 4, and 4 turns into 8. And 1 day a week turns into 2 days a week. And they say it's okay to drink every day. You know, this is absolutely ludicrous for anybody who has the passion to put up a website called National Institute on Alcohol Abuse and Alcoholism to put on their website, hey, it's okay to drink. Let me tell you, we got some serious problems in this world. Serious problems. And some of the biggest problems is people that say one thing and then turn around and say something else. You know, there are so many two-faced hypocrites out there, and there's so many deceivers. And this is why I pray that you pray for discernment. Okay, because there is so much truth mingled with error. And that's the way people are deceived in this world. And even the very elect will be deceived because they can justify truth mingled with error. And they say, oh, well, hey, this is okay. And it's not. Let me tell you, it's not. You know, what kind of example are you being to your children, you know, if you come home and have alcohol every single day of your life? You know, which they say is okay. You know, it is not. Let me tell you, it's truth mingled with error. Now, let me tell you, you want to talk about health risks? This is from the WebMD, and they've got all the health risks you can think of. WebMD, 12 health risks of chronic heavy drinking. So they did put chronic heavy drinking, but you can relate that to light drinking too, because light drinkers are just going to have less risk, but there's still going to be the risk here. So, cancer, cardiovascular disease, and we can click right through these here because the next page has depression, let's see, cirrhosis of the liver, dementia, depression, seizures, gout, which I didn't know that. Gout is actually, because I've known a lot of people with gout, and I had no idea that it was related to alcohol, because everyone I've ever known that had gout were heavy, heavy drinkers. And I thought it was something different altogether, but there's the common characteristic. I've never met anybody who had gout who was not an alcoholic or a heavy drinker. So, and I'm sure they're out there, of course. High blood pressure, infectious diseases, nerve damage, pancreatitis. You know, there are so many problems with alcohol. The list goes on and on. And let me tell you, the biggest problem I see is the clarity. God wants us to be sober-minded. He wants us to have clear thoughts and clear visions. Okay, He does not want our minds to be distorted in any way, shape, or form. Because when your minds are distorted, even by a drink or two, you know, Satan can come in and really cause problems in your life. And let me tell you, I drank every day, every single day of my life for years and years and years. And now it's been 10 years probably since I've had any single little bit of alcohol. I won't even cook with alcohol. I love the flavor of cooking with alcohol, but I just don't want to give those industries any profit. So I don't even cook with alcohol anymore. But okay, there are places you can turn. You know, if you're a person with problems, if you're having problems, Alcoholics Anonymous is the one I'm going to point out right here. Their website right here, Alcoholics Anonymous. They have areas if you have drinking problems, you can learn more. Let me tell you, they're pretty global too. They're doing a lot of work. And I wanted to share with you the Alcoholics Anonymous 12 Steps program, because it's good to have a program. It's good to have something that is a process, baby steps to an amazingly healthier you. One of my baby steps is to eliminate drugs and alcohol. And so here's your 12 steps. A lot of people don't know it. But number one, we admit we are powerless over alcohol, that our lives had become unmanageable. And let me tell you, you have to first admit that you have a problem. And if you're not going to admit you have a problem, you're really never going to get any farther than that. And even if you're drinking 1 or 2 drinks a day, it's a problem. You know, denial will never change your life. You know, if you want to deny that you have a financial problem, you're never going to get financial success. You want to deny that you have a health problem when it comes to, you know, overweight, you're never going to find success. You want to deny that you have an education problem, you're never going to get educated. You know, so it's this way with more things than just alcohol. Number 2, came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. And power is capitalized here, referring to God. And you have to realize that God can change your life. Now, I never went through the 12-step program. I never went to Alcoholics Anonymous. But I did go to God and I said, Lord, I cannot change myself. I cannot do this. You have to do it. And I ask you, I authorize you, God. Give God permission. Let me tell you, nothing works better than giving God permission. And people don't understand that. You have to give God permission to come into your life and change you from the inside out. And that was an absolute necessity for me to get off of a lifetime of drinking. And I quit, boom. Cold turkey, the best. I quit and never had another drink since. And the minute I quit drinking, it was the minute I quit smoking, because they went hand in hand. And so I quit both just like that. And I'll tell you what, I never had a desire to drink or gamble or smoke or do anything after that. And it wasn't of myself, because if it was of myself, I'd be right back in there. Number 3, made a decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care of God as we understood Him. And in order for you to turn your life over to God, you have to be obedient to Him. You have to listen to Him and accept what He's saying and do what He's asking you to do. You can't turn your life over to God and then say, I'm not going to listen to you. That is not turning your life over to God. And you can talk about this not just with alcohol, but so many different topics. Turning your life over to God means turning your life over to God, surrendering daily. And we talked about that many times. Surrendering your life to God is, the best thing you could ever possibly do. But that means surrendering your life to God so that His will be done in your life. And I'll tell you what, there is such a bright light at the end of these challenges that you would have to go through. I went through, any alcoholic, and rather it be smoking or drinking or drugs or sexual problems or addictions, things like that. When you turn your life over to God and you listen to Him and you're obedient to Him, and over time when you transfer, you're going to become in a far better place than you could have ever imagined. And you're going to look back like I do and say, I can't believe I used to do the things I used to do. And that's what it takes. Number 4, make a searching and fearless moral inventory of ourselves. Look at yourself. Look at yourself in the mirror, and really listen to what that mirror is telling you. Admitting to God, to ourselves, and to other human beings the exact nature of our wrongs. Number 6, we're entirely ready to have God remove all these defects of character. 7, humbly ask Him to remove our shortcomings. That's what I'm talking about. You have to ask Him and give Him permission. Please, Lord, do this. Make a list of all persons we have harmed and become willing to make amends to all of them. I know they're really big on this. I've never really done that myself, and I don't really feel like I've harmed anybody. There may have been a couple people, but I wasn't a violent or mean, and it was usually a loner type of a thing with me. But by all means, if you cause people problems, apologize. Apologies go a long way, and we're in a society that does not apologize. Families don't apologize, loved ones don't apologize to each other, and I'll tell you what, apologies are probably one of the most powerful tools we have. And it's going to make yourself feel better as well. So, apologize. Number 10, continued to take personal inventory, and when we were wrong, promptly admit it. Admitting your mistakes, that's one of my biggest things when I do my classes. You have to, admit when you're wrong. Hey, it was my fault. I did it. Because if you don't admit that you were wrong and that you were the problem, you're going to continue reliving that same problem over and over. This is the blame game. Let's blame this. Let's blame government. Let's blame corporations. Let's blame this and, blame everybody but yourself. And that's not taking responsibility for yourself. And when you admit that you are the problem, that's when you can learn from your mistakes and not repeat them. It is a huge thing to admit that you're the problem. And then you can grow behind it. Financially, if you got financial problems, it's your fault. It's not the economy's fault. It's not the government's fault. It's not anybody's fault but yourself. When it comes to alcoholism, look at this. Some of the biggest alcoholics in the world are the ones that have the least amount of money. And here they are, financially broke, and they wonder why they're not financially successful, because they're spending all their money on alcohol every month. I mean, the busiest day of the month for liquor stores is when people get their government checks. Back in South Dakota, I lived by the Indian reservations. The liquor store only opened one day a month. And when they got their checks, the liquor store was open. And then they closed for the rest of the month. And they'd wait. And that was on the Indian reservations. And the cycle continues. So, yeah, don't blame anybody but yourself. And then when you do blame yourself, move forward. Don't harp on it. Move forward. Let God show you a better way. Where are we at? Number 11, sought through prayer and meditation to improve our conscience contact with God as we understood Him, praying only for His will for us and the power to carry that out. And number 12, Having had a spiritual awakening as the result of these steps, we try to carry this message to alcoholics and to practice these principles in all of our affairs. So 12 steps is pretty good, and bottom line is I would recommend somebody who's going through problems to go ahead and check out Alcoholics Anonymous. And it may not be right for you, but I guarantee you, you're going to pick up a lot of things that should help you in your transformation. Now, I didn't need all of these, but bottom line is it's pretty much the same thing that happened in my life. And, turned my life over to God, started listening to Him, and then He starts doing those amazing things in your life. So, bottom line, if you're having problems with alcoholism or you know somebody who is, how do you get them help? Number one, prayer. Pray, 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 pray. Morning, noon, and night. Prayer will overcome. And let me tell you, you need action. Action, doing something. Take action yourself to do something. If you need it for other people, do some action, action, action. Bring attention to the problem. Bring attention to the problem, attention to the problem, so that it can be exposed. It can be talked about. Come, let us reason together and let God show you a better way, and trust that God will bring you through it, and be obedient, and you will come to a better place, just like I did. I'm so thankful that God was able to change my life, and I know He can change yours. So that's it for today, and we will see you next time. Hi, Mark Anthony here to do another fun segment with you with Melody Prettyman. And Melody's been touring the country, and I had to drag her off the streets to bring her in here to do some serious cooking.
In my big girl pickup truck?
Yeah, the pickup truck. Man, is that a big pickup truck?
That is a big truck.
Wow. That's
I like that. I look down on everybody as I'm driving down the road. I feel like I do. I call it the big girl truck.
Yeah, you're so high in that thing, you might have to look down to see heaven. I mean, it is really big.
It's nice to be tall when I'm so short. When I'm standing here next to Mark, one of these days I'm going to get a stool and be above.
Get you a platform. I'll be like,
there you go.
How's that, better?
Yeah, it is.
Hey, we're doing some stuffed spaghetti squash. These are spaghetti squashes.
I love spaghetti squash. It looks like you've already roasted it.
Yeah, it's cooled down a little bit. It's probably going to still be hot in the center. But I want to get this baby cut, and I'm going to cut right along the edge here.
Sure.
And then I want to kind of get a little bit of an angle because I want these to be the exact same size, of course.
Surprise inside.
There we go.
Beautiful.
Let me just crimp that edge there.
And why do they call it spaghetti squash, Mark?
Because it looks like spaghetti.
It does when you eat it.
I'm going to have you grab that trash can over there, and we're going to...
Down here.
Yes, it's not going...
In case anybody asks us, it's not on the floor and there's no animal down here eating it.
Okay, so that one's ready to empty.
Oh, look at that. Perfect.
And I'll leave that fork, and you're going to put it right in there.
You want me to put the whole thing in there?
Well, you're going to scrape it out and... Yeah.
Okay, you have to pretend like I don't know what I'm doing. Like he has to pretend. No.
No, I never said that.
I didn't. You know what? It's kind of funny. As many times as Mark and I have been in the kitchen together, he can think something and I do it, and I can think something and he does it, don't we?
Yeah, mind reading a lot there for sure. Yeah, especially with the big events.
Oh yeah. We bounce off of each other all the time.
Okay, so you want to keep the outer layer intact because we're going to stuff these with the same product back in there. So that's going to go right back in here. Now what I'm doing, you can actually take this. There was an actual class, I did a show on spaghetti squash that you can just mix this with some flavor and eat it.
I like it just like this.
Right, but what I want to do is add some ingredients to it, stuff it back in here, and then put it back in the oven for another half hour. Like
a twice-baked potato.
Right.
But twice-baked spaghetti squash.
That's kind of what we're doing. Stuffed spaghetti squash. Right. So right here I've got some of the chicken style butler soy curls, And you can chop them up in pieces if you want. Or
why don't you put some here for me, Mark?
Put them whole.
Chop some up.
Okay. And
now, are they seasoned? Is this just raw right out of the package, hydrated?
Well, these I actually soaked them in a chicken broth.
Okay.
A chickenless
broth.
Yeah, and I get that at like Whole Foods.
Okay.
Little chickenless, beefless, those type of bases. And but then you just add whatever ingredients you want to it.
Oh, wow.
Now, I'm going to make one for my wife, Brenda.
Miss Brenda, I love Miss Brenda. She is my dear friend.
She likes the buttery type, so I'm going to put some of this vegan, what do they call that?
Earth Balance?
Earth Balance, yes, thank you very much. And then whatever flavoring you want to put in there. Now, Brenda, she's a big olive person, so I'm going to do some black olives. I'm going to stay away from all that. I'll do some black beans, though.
Because...
And is this garlic?
That is garlic. Okay. What Brenda likes garlic and onions, but she likes them pureed.
Mm-hmm. I'll do a little celery.
Little texture there for her.
Okay. So whatever you really want to do, you can really be creative here. Flavor-wise, I've got a little salt here. If you want salt, you got it. Oh, you got the Butler here. Since we're doing the Butler chicken, my brain's just going.
That's okay, soy curls.
Yeah, since you want the Butler soy curls, this is actually a Butler chicken style seasoning that they made that has a really great flavor. So you can actually mix some of this in there as well.
You know, Mark, I've talked to Dan so many times with Butler soy curls on the phone. He has sent product to me when I've done different events to use the product because it's the only soy protein based, like TVP or whatever they want to call it, that I will use because it's non-GMO and it is organic. And I love this product. Yeah. I use it all over the United States. I tell people about it when I'm in my seminars, and Mark, you use it as well.
Yeah, and let me tell you, we talk about products here. We show products on the television and everything. We don't get paid by these companies. No. We're not spokesmen. We just want you to have that information about what's best. And I'm actually using Daya cheese right here.
I love the Daya cheese.
So I'm going to put a little bit of this in there as well. And so this one's mine. This is the one for Brenda.
Mine. Dad, did he sound like my little brother? Mine.
Mine.
Although he's a big brother. Mark is older than me.
Who?
Mark, I said,
Mark,
is older.
Is that your son?
Yeah. I was just kidding. Shh. I do have two wonderful sons. I have 2.5 grandbabies, which because I have one on the way. And 2 daughter-in-laws, and I love my family. They're precious to me.
You would never know having grandkids.
I love my grandbabies, yes.
So all we're going to do is stuff this, and if you want to put yours in there too, you can.
I'd like to have a little bit of that chicken-style seasoning, I think, Mark.
Okay, got that right there for you. And what do you think? That's stuffed about as stuffed as I want to get it.
About as stuffed as you can get it. Looks like turkey at Thanksgiving, right?
Well, and the one of the reasons why I grabbed these smaller ones was that way you can do an individual portion. Some of those big spaghetti squashes are just way too big for one person, but this would be a pretty good.
That would be a whole meal with a salad?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, awesome.
And 2 points right there. Okay. I'm going to grab some of this
what do you got
breadcrumbs. You're not going to want it on yours. But
I don't want breadcrumbs on mine. It's not that I don't want it, folks, but I'm celiac, so I cannot have it.
You want gluten-free recipes? Melody has them on her website.
Yummy.
You can go to melodyperdyman.com, and I don't get paid for that plug either. So, but it's a good place to go get good recipes, especially for celiac. But I'm going to put a little bit of this on the top just because I want a little toasting action. And, ooh, yours looks colorful too. I'm going to have to kick it up a notch since yours looks so colorful. Let me move this over a little bit.
There you go. Oh,
come over here.
My favorite dill. I think dill and basil are my 2 favorite herbs. And I use them in a lot of my cooking.
Everything. Yeah, me too.
I do too.
Plus it grows like wildfire, So, okay, so we're just gonna do it like that. This is gonna go in the oven for about Probably just 30 minutes. We just want to get the top toasted because mostly it's warm and hot. And
for about how long? 20,
I'm thinking
minutes?
30 minutes on 350. So that's what we'll do. And then we'll come back and show you the finished product.
Well, Mark, I wonder how good that stuffed spaghetti is.
Squash. Now it's been in here for about 30 minutes.
Okay.
So. And look at this.
Oh my.
There
hot?
We go.
Hot?
Yeah, it's hot. The pan's hot and everything. My hands can handle it just because.
You're used to it?
Yeah, I've burned my hands so much.
I'm a little sensitive.
Can't even feel them, but.
Now that is the gluten-free for myself. You know, Mark.
Okay, that's hot.
I added a little bit of the chicken seasoning. It has lower sodium in it, but this one has very low sodium as well. And that's up to the individual. You put in it what you need, but just keep it in mind. We're educating on health.
Yeah, and you can see where it's toasted here on the top and everything.
Oh, that
so
I wish I could have that.
Looking for. And people would look at this on the plate and they'd be like, wow, now that's something different.
And really, calorie-wise, you can eat a whole one of these with a salad and have less calories than if you did one of those little diet portioned foods that you get in the frozen department of your grocery store.
Except the one that I put the Earth Balance in.
But I think still you'd get, because there's still fat in those, I think you'd still get less fat in this.
And it's better for you though.
Oh, sure it is.
Anything that you eat plant strong, is whole foods, natural foods is going to be far better than what most people eat.
That's right, that's right.
So. Well, that easy. And make sure you share this one with your friends. Go to the websites, chefmarkanthony.com, melodypurdyman.com, and of course we've got YouTubes and Facebooks and other social networkings to share this with your friends and family. And we will see you next time in the kitchen.
Good night.
All right. I'll tell you, sometimes at the whole message, we really get deep because I really love to study things out. I want to know the entire whole message, not just bits and pieces of it. And I'll tell you what, so many times all we do is get these little fragments in society, and we need the whole message. We need to, get every single thing we can find out there because there's so much false information going on out there. I mean, it's just bombarded society. So anyway, by all means, I've got my website out there. There's a place to donate. This is a self-funded, your donations is what keeps these lights running and gets our messages out there. And of course, we've got the books available and the charts available and different things like that on the website too. So make sure you check that out. We've got Facebook and YouTube, things like that. And share these with your friends. That's why I do segments, because you can take these segments and just share them with your friends. And that's the way we help get this health message out there, because I'm telling you, when you get healthier physically, you're going to get healthier mentally, and then you're going to have a better connection with God. And that's what this is about, is having a better connection with God. And it all starts with your health and your diet, and you start taking care of that, everything else falls into place. So thank you all for tuning in, and we will see you next time at The Whole Message.